Yo, it's Eazytarget coming back at you with another Diablo 3 for the next challenge rift of week 39 for the EU server. As you can see on screen, we do have a wizard. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Send these videos out to friends. I'm trying to get that YouTube sub goal of 1,000 so I can get my privileges back. Let's go ahead and move on into the build here. First up, let's go ahead and take a look at the gear. We have a whole bunch of legendaries in here, but he does not have the LON set. He does not have the Legacy of Nightmare build, so this is somewhat of a random build, I would assume. I do not know the wizard that well, but let's go ahead and figure out what's going to go happen here. So that's the gear. Like I said, I don't know much about it, but if we look at the skills, we have Magic Missiles, Arcane Orb, Explosive Blast, Energy Twister, Teleport, Storm Armor, and moving on over to the passives, we have Cold Blooded, Power Hungry, Audacity, Unstoppable Anomaly. Alright, and the way I'm going to use this is I'm going to go ahead and use my one Explosive Blast. I'm just going to hold my finger on it because I don't know exactly what it does, but it just keeps triggering and it stacks up something. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that active. If you know how to do the numlock trick, you may want to go ahead and do that. And then your number 2 is going to put tornadoes down and it's going to suck things in. But right here it's not going to show that just because they're kind of stationary, they're kind of locked in place. Your number 3 is going to be your teleport. And you just use that to get from mob to mob, and also if you're in a little bit of trouble, you can use that to get a little bit of armor and try to save your life. And then you have your storm armor that you just want to pop at the beginning of your rift. So make sure you have all that ready. Your left mouse click is going to be for your generator, and then your right mouse click is going to be your damage dealer. So that's what's going to be doing all the damage. So whenever you come up to your group, just be holding down your 1, so it's just constantly going, giving explosions, and then you want to use your tornado to gather everything up, and then just go ahead and use your right mouse click to go ahead and destroy that stuff that's in that tornado. Pretty simple for the most part. The hardest thing is holding on to the number 1, so it just constantly keeps getting activated. Alright, that wraps up about how I'm going to run the build. I'm going to go ahead and move on over to the maps, and after the maps will be my run. Thank you guys for stopping by. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, we're moving on to the maps here. On floor 1, we'll be entering in right down here. And I'd just go straight to elite. We're just going to go straight to elite. If there's a pretty big pack, go ahead and do it. But basically, whenever you come in here, you want to pop your armor, and then you want to go ahead and get to your first elite. You can teleport over to them if you want to. But whenever you get over to them, you want to energy twister right onto the elite, so all the mobs just twist in right on top of them. And then you wanted to go ahead and use a magic missile and try to hit the main elite, and then go ahead and use arcane orb, and things are just going to melt on screen really quickly. While this whole thing is going on, you want to be using your explosive blast. I'm not quite sure on this build, but Explosive Blast has some key part to it. I thought I did a good time, but somebody did it like in half the time. It was ridiculous. But you want to have Explosive Blast on at all times if you can. I think so. If you can use the numlock trick on that, that'd probably be best. Otherwise, I was popping it whenever I get to groups that I wanted to kill. But make sure that's just going kind of like all the time. And then use your Energy Twister whenever you're ready to kill things, so to just group up. And then Magic Missile. Just to prime things up. It seems like they do more damage whenever that is hit on the enemy that you want to kill. It makes things explode around them. And then Arcane Orb is what does the main damage and triggers everything else. So that's how you're going to be going around this rift. Teleporting whenever you can, but teleporting whenever you're right by the elites is pretty good because it gives you some more survivability. We get right over to this elite right over here. Explosive Blast is going on the whole time, so make sure that's always going. Energy Twister, Magic Missile, and then Arcane Orb. And then to the next one, same thing. Energy Twister, Magic Missile, Arcane Orb. And then get that speed pile on and just get the heck out of here and go to floor 2. Floor 2, you come in down here, you want to go straight for that elite right there, get him, and then just move on over to the second elite right here. Kill some of the trash that it's pretty dense trash. because it just helps out with your progression, and you're going to need it towards the end. The boss is a little bit harder to kill, it seems like, if he doesn't have mobs around him with the explosions or whatever's going on. So make sure you're killing those mobs, and you don't want to go too far into floor number 3, and just go straight from elite to elite right here, just using that same technique. Hit this elite right here, and then go over to here, and then just backtrack down. Right here is pretty crucial that you kill some mobs on the way over, because it's a pretty good stretch from elite to elite right there. This guy right here falls down. It's like 3 bats, so he is there. Just give him a second and they will fall down, and then go ahead and kill them before you leave the level here. Floor 3, you just pop in right down here, and then come over to your first elite. Hopefully this can pop them, but if not, you may have to push on through until you get over to this next elite right over here. This one is kind of out of the way, so you may not want to go down there. Even after you kill this elite right over here, you may have to push into here and get some trash. Hopefully you don't have to go this far. If you do get this far, maybe you can teleport across. I didn't have to go that far, but if you do, maybe that'll save some time. But if it doesn't pop right around the second elite on the floor 2 or floor 3, sorry. You're probably not killing enough of the trash on the way whenever you're getting from elite to elite on the previous floors. But once the Rift Guardian does pop, you're going to do the same thing on him. He's going to pop. Then you want to make sure that explosive blast is going. You want to make sure the energy twister goes on him, and then magic missile just to get that extra damage on him. And then whenever you use your arcane orb, it should do a significant amount of damage on him. And then that's basically it for this Rift. It is pretty difficult to do with the time frame. I had to play quite a few times just to get the time under the time required, just so I can get a successful run for you guys. But other than that, if you guys haven't subscribed just yet, I would appreciate a subscribe. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 subs. Next is going to be my run, so if you want to stick for that, go ahead and watch my run. But other than that, this is Eazy, and I'm out.
Glory awaits at the end. Dare to claim it. Still waiting. more time. I am unstoppable. I need healing. I wish I could do that.
How are criminals treated in your land?
They appear before a magistrate, and then are thrown in prison.
How odd. In the order, they're just executed.